457-9997. Also, the number to WhatsApp 457-9997. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook. I'm sorry, accidentally close the thing. Yes, we're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. WEFM.
And guess who's not cold anymore? Because Ari got up and he's like, Roleza, I don't want to hear again. So he gets up and he fixes the adjusted temperature for me. Thank you, Ari. You could be such a darling when you're ready.
You need to eat your vitamins, is it? But there's a whole other. There's a whole
you don't
other.
Want to start me up.
There's a whole other conversation.
And you don't want to start me up.
No, we want to talk about the justice received for the family of Arianna Taylor and a take off the Israel purposely.
But the specified identity to Ari?
It was. But now that she has justice, I don't think that she needs to be carrying around the surname in death of the person who took her life.
Fair,
but that's my opinion. So I'm reading from Eyewitness News right now. Vincentian man who murdered his Cuban wife, Arianna Taylor Israel, outside his alma mater, which one of their sons was attending in Kingstown on January 30th, 2020, has been sentenced to 38 years in prison. 38 years in prison. Justice Ricky Bonnet handed down the sentence in High Court number 2 in Kingstown yesterday, Monday, having rejected an application by prosecutor Richie Maitland that Mitchell Israel, murderer, spent the rest of his life in prison. So the prosecution wanted him to do life for the murder. I feel like I agree. I feel like as much as I had spoken about empathy and
we're not going there with this topic.
Yeah, something like as grievous. He went on to a school compound and murdered his child's mother, who was his wife. Under the jail for this one here. The judge, however, noted the seriousness of Israel's crime and said that the court must send a message of deterrence and rehabilitation. Israel wore a face mask and used a leather portfolio to hide his face from the media. Don't hide your face? No. Don't hide your face? No.
But
you may hide in your face when you go on St. Martin compound.
Ever since he's been in police custody, that's all he's been doing.
Don't hide. Don't hide no face. Yeah, you didn't hide no face when you went on St. Martin's compound. Don't do that now. In his sentencing remarks, Justice Ricky Bonnet quoted the social report as saying that the couple's son lost both of their parents on the day of the killing, and this had a lasting impact on them. How do you feel about that?
No, you continue. I would say what I have to say. There are a couple of things that I want to say.
All right, well,
we ready?
Where you want me to stop with it? Because I think you will go ahead.
No, so the thing of it is that I would actually, there are a couple of things. Even though he has gotten 38 years, I think he's only going to do 34. And as far as I know, the jail year is only 9 months. So it's not even going to be a full 34 calendar years as we know it. So if my math works out correct, it's going to be maybe like 25 or something, whatever that is, right?
He's 60. He's 61, no?
But this is my thing though, Ari. I think he was 61 at the time of committing the crime. So he might be like, 63, right? There is a strong possibility that given the sentence, and what is always so weird with some of these situations is that sometimes the persons who get the longest type of who get long life here on earth are the persons who we would say aren't possibility, depending on how long he lives, that he might be back out. So I think it's part of me would really like if but it's not within our justice, because even life imprisonment, again, as far as I know, it's about 25 years as it is, right? It's not a natural life that you're going to go behind bars for. So in this case, yes, quote unquote, in a sense, he has been sentenced to life, given what the sentence is going to amount to in terms of the number of years in totality, based on the 9-month system that we have here for prisons. But I I don't want to call it. I would like to believe and hope and pray that he does die in prison, but the reality is there could be a possibility that he could come out after a while,
Yeah,
depending if he gets a long life.
I don't. The crime doesn't
Mm,
matter to me. Me as a person, I can't wish death on somebody.
mm.
But he
Oh, so
went
you
through
don't
the
believe in
legal
the
procedure. I don't believe in wishing death on
in
people.
that you don't believe in the death penalty?
I believe that people should face rehabilitation. That's the point of jail. As much as it is a punishment, it is supposed to guide you to the right path. Then if that wasn't the point of jail, then people should just be out in the streets killing people when people do them wrong. That is why we have a justice system, to show you where you have gone wrong. It's supposed to the smaller crimes, the sentences or the fines are always supposed to act as a deterrent. The more serious crimes supposed to rehabilitate you, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, for me, given the circumstances with this, yeah, we could talk about rehabilitation. I mean, it's not necessarily that I'm for the death penalty, but in this case, I would have been more for natural life imprisonment. That's what I would have been for.
Okay,
Right?
I get what you're saying.
Because it's not a, let's say it wasn't a crime of passion in the sense where something happened within that particular day and he reacted and shot his wife. There was a history between them of domestic abuse. So that is why it's not a case where he wasn't aware of what he was doing. It was a case of poor treatment, ill treatment, bad treatment towards his wife, which culminated in him shooting her. And not just shooting her, but shooting her in the presence of other children.
And I don't know these people, and this annoyed me. I could imagine the people in this situation who have been living through it for the past few years. In determining the starting sentence, I back to reading from IWN. Justice Bonnet noted that the defense, father and daughter Duo Linton and Mafika Lewis, argued that while the murder was committed in the presence of children and near an educational institution, they should be given lesser weight because Israel had gone to the school to pick up his children as he usually did. The defense argued that it was by chance that the killing had occurred in the presence of children. How it by chance that the killing occurred in the presence of children? By chance at a school? By chance?
And I think sometimes that's where it is that it annoys me with the defense when they're trying to pull at straws or grab at straws.
We mean by chance? We mean by he went onto a school premises. We mean by chance? So if I go in an ice cream shop and be like, I wonder if they're ice cream boy. By chance, I saw some ice cream. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I surprised the judge and laugh at that.
It's grabbing at straws, basically.
Yeah, the prosecution had further noted that Israel had attempted to discard the murder weapon, a revolver that he had carried that he had a permit to carry, sorry. And there was a history of abuse in the relationship. So you're beating up your wife. You went on to the school compound, murdered the wife.
You see, I like when you talk with passion about these things.
No,
Yeah,
this is nonsense. And then you try to discard the weapon, meaning you're conscious of what you did.
Yeah.
And you tell him, and his lawyers want to argue that by chance, and you should discount that. Yeah. Listen, this 38 years ain't long enough.
For me, it actually isn't. And sometimes when we talk about wanting things to change within society, within the justice system, these are the type of things that I look at and I have a little bit of an issue with because, as I said, yes, he may be sent to prison. And who is it to say that he might not find the Lord and find salvation and all that good stuff?
Yeah,
that
you hope speak to other prisoners.
Hope for rehabilitation. Yeah. But
he help other prisoners.
I won't mind if he had a change of mind, change of heart, change of soul. He could have that, but stay in prison for the rest of his natural life. That's what I would have wanted.
I feel so. And the rehabilitation would benefit society in that you will be able to speak to other prisoners.
Yeah.
Well, you stay there and cool out. You're already cooling out half with tax dollars. You stay there and cool out. Yeah. You ain't for come back out. Steady.
But I think sometimes this whole issue too of domestic violence, there are times when I wonder if it's spoken about enough, and particularly about between the sexes, because this is why I just made mention to you I like the fact that you're speaking on this with so much passion, because the perpetrators of many of these incidents of domestic abuse, domestic violence, murders, or crimes towards women are always inflicted by men, right? And
You can't say always.
well, most times,
There are lesbian relationships. Lesbian women beat their women as well.
Well, I mean, those that come to light within the media, right? That since you want for me to be so technical
Those
in
are
what
what?
I'm saying, that come to light within the media. Since you want for me to be
No,
so
you're
technical,
saying it's always men. Not always.
majority of the times within our society, is that better for you, Ari?
Oh, you wanted to wrap up?
No,
Okay, yeah.
no. So it was just the point of, because I even remember a situation that happened earlier this year, where a lady left a situation of domestic abuse, and she was gunned. I think it was this year. She was gunned down in Kingston. No, I think she was living in Georgetown, and she relocated to Montrose to live with a friend. And you know that they always tell a woman that whenever you find yourself in a situation of abuse, to get out. And this lady actually did get out, but she got out and she was still murdered. And there are times when I wonder, what more must a woman do to keep herself safe? You know, you have put enough geographical distance in the context of Vinci, between yourself and your former partner, but yet the person still found her and was able to kill her. You know, and there are times when I wonder, what more must a woman do? You go to the station, you go to the station, you make a report. And in the case of Mitch, I think she would have made at least 2 reports to the police. And still, what is actually being done?
Lawn archery. Karen
So I am
forensics
going
on a
to
bow and arrow.
so I am going to be able to draw a bow and arrow quick enough to shoot somebody should something happen to me.
Professional
Am I going
archers?
to walk around with
professional
am I
archers?
going to walk around with
Some
a
of
bow
them
and arrow all the time?
They open and they they look at your face.
Yes, as you look at my face, and I am being so dismissive with Ari right about now. Y'all won't believe.
Don't, you see, it's Men Mental Health Month. Don't dismiss me.
Oh, now it's November.
Yes,
All
it
right.
is. Yes, it is.
Go ahead. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Dave Roberts, right? I guess I don't know. I'm getting to. Is it like or love Roleza? How is her name? Rolesa?
ZA. You're close. You're very close. I could give you a clap for that.
All right.
Very close.
Yes, and well, I know. And how you spell Ari? A-R-R-I?
ARI.
A-R-R-I?
No, A-R-I.
Oh, just A-R-I.
Single digit, single letter. Sorry.
Yes, 3 letters.
Yeah,
Straight to the point.
I'm that type of individual because I love this kind of exchange where it is concerned. That's why you hear me. I can be very passionate and I speak my mind because I am at that age now where I can speak my mind, having lived my life, so to speak, and have experience. And I love activated morning. I'm just saying all of this to say why I participate because I think it provides that opportunity for those of us in society, who can offer something to make life better. Because not all of us will be involved, indulge in what is being said. Now, this is a very sensitive case. I knew, I'm just getting on to that quickly because that's what motivated me, activated me, so to speak. I knew both, I knew the dead, lovely Cuban black woman while I was at hospital. She was very nice, very kind to me. And I remember these things, It's like having a nice girlfriend and you can't forget her and so on. That's the other thing. The guy, I knew the Israel. I knew him I knew him very well as well. And when it comes to crime, a crime like that one, it is very touching to say the least, because especially speaking like how I knew them, right? I didn't think she deserved such an end to her life, right? But that's for another day, another story. But when things like these happen, we also have to look at ourselves, safeguard ourselves, try to draw the best understanding or appreciation of these situations. Not to fall in the same trap. But humans will always be humans. There will be more like this and even worse than this. But my response to this is that I hope you two guys there, young man, young woman, I have no idea of your ages, but at least you guys sound young. And I hope it should be a warning, a lesson to all of us. I love how Roleza expresses her feeling about the whole thing. And from a woman's standpoint, I I have too much sympathy or empathy or whatever it is for women as well, because I have grown accustomed to know and to see how some women are humiliated, are treated. I've seen men kick women and all this kind of thing, and I'm not that type. I could never tolerate that. But sometimes the woman asks for it too.
Dave, no, we're not going there.
All right, Dave.
We're
I
not-
think
we're not
that's
going
it
there.
for
No, hold on.
for your commentary
No,
today.
hold on. We won't say that because it's still within the man's power to whatever the situation is to walk away. Right?
I agree.
Walk away.
I agree. I have had many women in my life, very lot of intimate experiences with women, and I never let myself, go to that level. So when I made that statement, I can back it up by, but then that would be another session and so on. But all I want to say is that I know the judge as well. I know Ricky Burnett, know him very well, and I appreciate his judgment and so on. I know he's a very meticulous judge. Well, the way I know him, and I'm just saying this because not many people can say this, or they wouldn't feel comfortable saying it. But I know him very well. He's a Mespo man, son of the soil, and he may also be targeted, which I hope, doesn't happen.
All right.
So what I would love to see come out of all of this is that we can, learn, like I said, be a better people, and because we don't want no more of this happening in the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Dave.
Roleza,
All right.
I have to say though, what you just said was a dangerous statement that men supposed to have the power to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I think that empowers foolishness.
Not
No one
necess-
should be provoking anyone to that point, because a lot of women believe that I supposed to hit this man, I supposed to do whatever I want to this man, because as a man you're supposed to take it.
All
That's
right,
absolute
so,
nonsense.
okay,
Nobody's
so
supposed to be putting
hold
their hands
on,
on
Ari.
anybody.
Hold on. Exactly. But remember, I was responding to what Dave said. And because Dave was on the line, I did not continue. What it is, I would have come back and said, nobody is supposed to put their hands on anybody,
Okay.
whether man or woman, right? No one is supposed to provoke the other to wrath. And if you find yourself reaching to the height of wrath, you walk away, whether a man or woman.
Great.
Better?
Morning, Joshua. Let me just wrap up this quickly as we're running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
The judge said, Ricky Bonnet said that he held that the court could not deny that the murder had had an impact on the students of the school. As this was evidence of one of the students who witnessed it, the court also held that the murder was committed in the view of the public. Justice Burnett said Israel had attempted to discard the firearm after the killing, but later assisted police in retrieving it. He said that the aggravating features of the killing outweighed the mitigating, and the court moved up from its starting point by 2 years. Mitigating of Israel was that he was of good character with no previous conviction at age 61 when he murdered his wife. The judge said that he appeared to have shown some genuine remorse, and the social worker who prepared the social inquiry report concluded that he was a good candidate for rehabilitation. The court found no aggravating features of the offender and reduced the sentence by 4 years, taking it to 38 years in prison. The court then deducted the 3 years, 9 months, and 4 days Israel had spent in remand, which took down the sentence to 34 years, 2 months, and 27 days. The more important part to me that I wanted to touch on before we end this segment was there was a report on the impact on the killing on Alison Sutherland, who described Israel as a very caring and kind woman who loved her children daily. Sutherland said that Taylor Israel's death affected her psychologically, socially, and financially. She said that Taylor Israel cared for her sick husband, and she is tormented daily as she wonders about Taylor Israel's children. Sutherland housed a teenage boy after their mother's murder and said that Matthew Israel was scared and angry, and Mitchell Jr. was timid and quiet. Sometimes they stayed in their room all day, resulting in Sutherland being physically and emotionally drained. Sutherland said that before the children lived with her, she used to travel, but now she has to curtail this. Financially, apart from the small sum from the NIS, Sutherland received no financial assistance from family members to help care for the boys. Israel's singing groups, Cantimus, made financial contributions, and Sutherland also received ad hoc contributions. Sutherland told the social worker that it was her view that the teenage boys lost both their parents on the day of that killing. I'm sorry, caller, we don't have enough time to take a call, but we'll be back at 9:20 with Activated
maybe
Morning.
Before then.
No, next we have the interview with NTRC.
Okay.
But
okay.
that is it. That Israel that day, he took away 2 parents from 2 boys, and one of those parents he did in a very public place.
And not just that, now you have to look at, and I know we're going over time just a little, now you also have to look at the implications in terms of the development of these children, because someone else now has to raise these children. And this person would need financial assistance to help to raise these children, you know. So we also have to look at, I don't want to necessarily say it's a burden that's being placed on Miss Sutherland, but it may have been a duty that she has taken up that she did not necessarily prepare for. So we also have to look at that particular aspect of it. We could probably bring it back up a little bit later, Ari, as you suggested.
I'm just reading what answers here. They all act like they had remorse for what they did. The remorse is the fact that he's afraid to go to jail. I agree with that.
But you know what's interesting for me is, why hide your face? As you said, why
exactly.
hide your face? You know what you did.
You didn't
why
hide your face when you go on the school compound.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you
like,
didn't hide your face
people
then.
know who you are. So what's the point in hiding your face? It's a coward act at this point in time, but it's a lot more to it. When you talk about issues of domestic violence, what results in murder, it's not necessarily just about the person who has died, the person who has done the killing, but you also have to look at the impacts that it would have on children and those within their immediate environs, the person who has to take care of them, etc. It's a lot. It's not just the act.
Unfortunately, we have to break here, pay some bills, and we'll be back where we have NTRC joining us for a quick interview. So bear with us as we pay some bills right now.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a whole new world out there, reaching